Hello everyone, it's Emma from Blue Sky Vitality. Just checking, can you hear me? I'm hoping I've got my tech right. There is a chat screen, so if you can type in there yes or something to say that you can hear me, that would be great. Yay, yay, cool, awesome. Well, for those who don't know me, my name's Emma and I am from Blue Sky Vitality, and I'm a personal trainer, health coach and yoga teacher, and I'm based in Albany, Western Australia. And what I am loving is that you can talk to people from anywhere in the world. You don't have to be in Albany to be broadcasting to people. So I'm hoping there's some people from outside of Albany tuning in as well. And I'm really, really excited to have you all here. So thank you so much. So the reason I've put this webinar together is 2016 for a lot of people has been a pretty crazy year. A lot of us have kind of struggled with injuries, illness, a really cold and bitter winter. Here in Albany, it was pretty cold. And it's just been kind of a strange vibe. So things like Brexit and Donald Trump and, you know, Prince dying and crazy things like that have all kind of made 2016, in my opinion, a pretty tough year. And when things get tough, it also makes it hard for us to stick to our health and fitness goals. And then that makes us feel even crappier, and then the cycle just continues. And I know for me personally, I've had a year that's been a bit like that. I've been quite unwell for most of the year, and I've seen a lot of my clients struggle with illnesses and injuries and the cold and all those things. So it's good to know. Sometimes I like to get a little bit woo-woo, and it's good to know that 2016 in numerology is a 9 year. So we're coming to the end of something, and I feel like for a lot of us, we're all a bit tired and exhausted because it's, you know, we're coming to the end. And 2017 is a 1 year. So it's a fantastic time to start new practices, new beginnings. And hopefully for all of us, we're going to have a healthier and happier 2017. And you guys for logging in and joining this session, you're the smart ones, because if we start to plan for a great 2017 now, it's more likely to happen, you know, next year. So I congratulate all of you for coming along to this session. So for those who don't know me very well, as I said, I'm a personal trainer, health coach and yoga teacher. But if you transported back 5 years ago, I was a really stressed out corporate slave living in Sydney. So I'd sort of fallen into a corporate sales job. And to be honest, I was steadily putting on weight. I was very unhappy. I was stressed out to the max. And I was really unwell. And so I finally got asked I actually got a piece of paper in my mailbox about boxing classes. And they were just around the corner from me. And something about this piece of paper made me think, this is something I need to do. And so I dragged a friend along, and this wouldn't have happened if my friend hadn't have come with me. And we went to our first boxing class together. And it was pissing down with rain and it was terrible weather, but we told each other we'd do it anyway, and we did. And after that time, we actually had the best time punching each other, but we just felt like we'd really achieved something. And within about 3 or 4 weeks, I had decided I was going to chuck everything in, change my life completely and become a personal trainer because I loved boxing so much. So it's interesting how like one little thing like that can just completely change your life. So what I did was I spent the rest of that year kind of saving up my money, saying goodbye to friends. And then I moved back to Albany where I have family, and I've, you know, trained to be a personal trainer and a health coach, and I've started my own business. So it's amazing what can happen with one little thing like a boxing class and how much your life can change. So that's what's brought me here. And that's why I'm very passionate about helping people become fitter and healthier, because I can see, for a lot of you who didn't know me back then, you wouldn't be able to understand that I was never energetic. I was always negative. I think about myself back in the days when I'd sit in my cubicle in my office and I just bitched and moaned non-stop. And I think I'd love to go back to that office now and just show people how much more positive I am. And I think that, you know, exercise and eating fairly well most of the time can really make a difference to make you feel happier and more positive. So that's kind of my background, and that's what we're here to talk about a little bit more about tonight. So before we start, I did send you a link to a workbook, and I'm not sure if you've printed it out. It actually doesn't matter if you haven't, but you might want to have a pen and paper handy, because I do find that if you write things down, they sort of connect a little bit more with you and they're more likely to stick. So even if you don't have the workbook, just grab a scrap piece of paper right now and a pen, just so you can start writing a couple of notes down, because I want you to sort of really take in what I'm saying tonight and really sort of connect to it so that you can take some action later on. So the first question in the workbook is, what has actually brought you to this webinar? So what is it that you want to achieve in the time that we have together tonight? So if you feel comfortable about telling us in the chat box, I'd love to see that. But otherwise, write it down on a piece of paper, because if I don't cover off what you need to know, perhaps you can write me a message at the end, or we can have a chat offline later on. But if you feel comfortable sharing, just write down in the chat box what's brought you here to this webinar tonight and what you hope to get out of it. And then what is the #1 result that you want? So if you could have wave a magic wand for your health and fitness for 2017, what's the result that you would like to get out of having a better health and fitness routine in 2017? Someone's just written, I'm going to have more free time next year and want to make the best of it, smiley face. Well done, Jane. And it's good to plan ahead, and we'll talk about that throughout the session tonight. But if you don't have a plan, if you just think it's all going to happen, it's not. So it's good that you're making some plans now, Jane, for when you do have that free time next year. So that's exciting for you. So yeah, #1 result. If you have a health and fitness routine in 2017, what would you like to get out of it? What's the result that you'd like to have? And perhaps you might like to think about what's holding you back right now from having the healthy lifestyle that you would like to have. So you can write that in the chat box if you feel comfortable. And the third question is there a specific question that you have of me that you would like answered during this training? So I know you don't really know what's coming up now, but if if there's something you need to know about creating a fitness routine that you're actually going to love, then maybe write that in the chat box and I'll try and make sure I cover it off tonight. And if it's not sort of appropriate about tonight, then I'll write a blog post or let you come back to you about some information. So Jen's written, she's stressed, tired, run down, time poor, and that's all stopping you at the moment. And I completely relate to that, Jen, and some of that is definitely being covered off in the session tonight. I want my get up and go back, says Christine. And again, completely relate to you. And sometimes when we start a fitness routine, we go out hard and we go too fast and too hard, or we might get a really excited personal trainer that pushes us too hard. And I'll talk about that a bit later on. And then we just can't keep going. So it's about getting the right level of fitness for you and just gradually building up. And you can definitely get your get up and go back, Christine. So we'll talk about some of that. Has anyone else got anything they would like me to cover off, or why they're here, or anything? I think there's a bit of a delay with the chat, so I'll just wait a couple more seconds, just see. But if you've got things come up while we are chatting, just write them in the chat box. I keep looking to the side, I'm looking at the chat box, so we can cover things off as we go. All right. So if I look back, if I was me 5 years ago, my answers to these questions would have been, I wanted to come to this training because I was getting overweight, I was unhappy, and I felt like I needed a circuit breaker to make something change in my life. I felt like I was on a bit of a treadmill and I just kept doing the same thing over and over again and kind of expecting different results. So I needed something to kickstart me and to get me going. The #1 result I would have wanted was an exercise routine that I actually could have committed to. So I think like I talked about before, I'd go really hard and then just not be able to keep it up. So sort of my own perfectionism was holding me back a little bit there. And the biggest question I wanted answered back then was, why can some people do exercise regularly and I can't? So is there something wrong with me? So these are the kind of things we'll cover off. And Fiona's just written, what brought her here tonight? She wants to be able to continue to build on what she's achieved this year in terms of a healthy lifestyle. Fiona's one of my very good clients who's achieved a lot this year. And she's hoping she's doing this right because it's her first webinar, and you are, Fiona, so well done. It's kind of scary when you haven't done this technical stuff before, but it actually makes life so much easier because we can do things. I know that you live out of town from Albany, so we can still do stuff, and you know this because we've done a lot of FaceTiming and stuff in the past. So it's funny how technology can actually make all of our lives much easier. You can have a personal trainer that lives anywhere in the world if you want to. So I love that about technology when it works. Sometimes it doesn't. All right. So we're going to go into the actual webinar topics now. The first thing I want to do is talk about 5 exercise myths that are holding you back, because really, like anything, it's our mindset that holds us back. And sometimes we've got these preconceived notions about exercise, fitness and health that aren't actually true. So if we can bust some of these myths for you, you're more likely to be able to find a way to get your exercise happening on a regular basis. Okay, so we're going to start with our 5 exercise myths. And you might like to write a few notes about these and whether it resonates with you or not, because once you know what the myths are and how to bust them, then you're more likely to find your routine that suits you. Okay, my first myth, my favorite one: no pain, no gain. So how many times have we heard this when it comes to exercise? You've got to go hard, otherwise it's not worth it. And in my honest opinion, this couldn't be further from the truth, especially when you're first starting out with exercise, and especially when you're like Jen and you're stressed and you feel run down. If you're going to go hard, you're just going to set yourself up for more stress and more exhaustion. So the body actually does need rest to benefit from exercise. So if you're a bodybuilder, for instance, and I'm not suggesting any of us are, I don't train bodybuilders, but we actually need to build up the muscles by stressing them out, by using lots and lots of weight, and then giving yourself some rest. Otherwise, the muscles can't repair and develop. So we actually do need rest. And sometimes that even means in an exercise session. So I love it. I might do like timing sessions with my clients where it's 30 seconds on, 10 seconds off. Gosh, it's hard for them to take those 10 seconds off, but those rests are really important, and that's true for exercise as well. So I wouldn't suggest you go out and do a hard exercise routine every day of the week. You're just going to be stressing yourself out, stressing your body out. What I suggest is you do 2 or 3 gentle things like a walk, or if you like riding your bike, or just a gentle ride, or if you like yoga, do that 2 or 3 times a week, and do 2 or 3 harder sessions during the week as well, but really noticing your your energy levels and honoring that as well. And then it's really important at the same time to find exercise that you enjoy. Because if you're like heading down to the CrossFit gym doing hardcore CrossFit and you hate it, it's not actually doing you any good. Because what happens is, if you're not enjoying it, your body goes into a stress response. It goes into fight or flight mode. You actually get a whole heap of hormones happening. You get adrenaline, and then over a long period of time, you get cortisol. And adrenaline will pump sugar into the bloodstream and create excess sugar that's hard to break down, which will actually create fat on the body if you've got too much adrenaline. And cortisol will encourage you to retain fat around your belly, and will also encourage you to binge eat. So really, if you're choosing exercise that you don't like, then you're actually doing yourself worse off than doing no exercise at all. So it's a matter of picking and choosing and finding what you like. And for me, I was never a treadmill girl. I tried and tried and tried. But the minute I found boxing outside, my life changed. So it's just finding what's right for you, and what might be right for your neighbor might be completely different for you. So no pain, no gain is actually not true. It's finding what you like, and it's finding what suits your body and your energy levels. So that's myth number 1. Does anyone else feel like that was a myth, that was something that was holding them back in the past, that they thought they had to go really hard? Just chat yes in the chat box if that was you. All right. So number 2 myth, it's all or nothing. So I've got to do an hour or 2 hours worth of exercise, or there's no point. And again, couldn't be further from the truth. So if you're going to do an exercise session, I often just do all of my personal training sessions are only half an hour, because you can push yourself for half an hour, but you're not going to overdo it. Because if you exercise for an hour, then you're more likely to feel fatigued. If you're more likely to feel fatigued, your technique will go by the wayside. If your technique goes by the wayside, you're more likely to injure yourself. Then you won't be able to exercise for ages. So it doesn't need to be a long session. And for a lot of people, the idea of doing an hour of exercise every day, like for Jen maybe because, being time poor, then you're just going to say, I'm not going to do it. Don't have time, can't do exercise, right? So I would love to see most people doing about 30 minutes of exercise most days. But all you need to do is even break that down. So if you can't find half an hour in one block, you might do 10 minutes of just stretching or a couple of yoga poses in the morning. Then you can do a walk around your building at work or a walk around the block at lunchtime. And then you can do 10 minutes of just lifting a couple of kettlebells or something at home when you get home. And there's your half an hour. So you can easily break down a 30-minute session into 3 10-minute sessions and trying to get your exercise throughout the day. So really, all or nothing, again, is not true. You can get a lot of exercise and a lot of benefits from just doing, 30 minutes of exercise most days, factoring in your rest days, okay? So again, if you've found that time's holding you back, just write yes in the chat box and just let us know that maybe you can change your mindset around time. Yeah, much easier to find 30 minutes than 40 minutes even sometimes. Yeah, just getting your head around it. So changing things around and just thinking outside the box a little bit, because sometimes when we have these preconceived ideas that aren't even true, that's what's holding us back. Okay, so start thinking about how you can find 10 minutes 3 times a day, or half an hour in one spot, or 20 minutes here and 5 minutes there and 5 minutes there, and just it all adds up. Doing a little bit is way better than doing nothing at all. So just remember that. Okay. The third myth about exercise is that it's expensive. And it can be, because if you buy all the latest fad gear, because you see something on the shopping channel or whatever, and you never ever use it, that's expensive. If it's just sitting in your garage gathering dust, that's a waste of money, okay? Or if you are, you have a gym membership, but you actually hate going to the gym and you never use it, yep, that's pretty expensive, because you're just wasting your money on something you're not using. But if you find that if you find an exercise that you really enjoy and it helps you to feel more energetic, and it helps you have a social outlet, you get to meet friends, you get to meet like-minded people, and you actually get benefits out of it, say you go to a class or something, then that's not wasting your money, because you're getting the benefits and value of it, whether you're spending money or not, the value of it's really, really huge. So that's why I talk about finding an exercise program that you like. And it might mean that you need to try and see a different personal trainer just a couple of times to try and find the routine that suits you. There's no shame in doing that. And also the other thing that can be very expensive about exercise is if you get injured, because then you've got all the physio to do and all that stuff, or you might have your gym membership that you can't actually stop using or something like that. So the other thing that you need to be really careful of is that you don't have a trainer or a class that's too high above your fitness levels right now. Because in the past, my very first personal trainer used to train me hard for an hour, and then I wouldn't be able to actually walk almost for the rest of the week. So that meant, honestly, I was doing 1 hour's exercise a week, and half the time I was feeling injured and tired and sore and wouldn't do anything for the rest of the week. That's expensive. That's a waste of my time, because I'm not able to exercise for the rest of the week, and then I'd get injured and I'd have to go to the chiro and all those kind of things. So finding exercise that's right for you, spending money only where you need it on equipment or personal training until you feel confident. Or you might find that your personal trainer is the person that keeps you motivated. And then if you're motivated to exercise, your personal trainer is actually not that expensive, because she's keeping you going, okay? So exercise doesn't need to be expensive. It's only expensive when you're spending money on things that you don't enjoy. All right, does anyone else relate to that? Have they got gym members? I used to hold on to gym memberships for so long, because you sort of think, oh, if I've got a gym membership, I'm kind of healthy, whether you use it or not. But yeah, if you've got a gym membership, you're not using it, cancel it. It's a waste of money. If you don't like the gym, you're not going to just all of a sudden start loving it because you've got a gym membership. Okay, so just find what you love. It might take a bit of, yeah, I got one and never used it after the first visit. I think a lot of people relate to this. Gyms work well for so many people. I'm trying, I'm not bashing gyms at all, because for some people it's fantastic. But if you don't enjoy it, then you need to find something else. And I really believe most of us can find exercise we enjoy, but it might, you want to ease into it. You can't just run into it and jump into it straight away necessarily. All right. Is everyone ready for myth number 4? So myth number 4 is that the only reason you should exercise is to lose weight. Now, I know a lot of people do exercise to lose weight, and that's completely fine. But for some people who aren't that, who aren't overweight or quite thin, they can think to themselves, well, I don't need to exercise, I look okay. And for other people that are very overweight, they might think, I'm not able to lose weight, I'm too far gone, there's no point in me exercising. So if we just focus on the weight loss when it comes to exercise, we can miss out on so many of the benefits because some people won't even try, okay? So think about some of these reasons to exercise. And I recently wrote a blog post and I came up with 52. And I'm not going to read out all 52, but there are many, many reasons. So some of them are things like stress management. So for me, when I started my boxing classes all those years ago, when I wasn't a personal trainer and I was very stressed, punching things made me feel so much better. It was a great way for me to release my stress out of my system rather than sitting in the cubicle at work bitching and moaning. I actually would get my stress out in another way. So great for stress management, really good for body strength and for function. So for instance, if you need to lift a big heavy box of things out of the car, it's not that hard anymore because you're feeling stronger and your body's not going to, you're not going to get an injury in your shoulder from lifting something, or your lower back's not going to go. So really good for just keeping you fit and healthy so that you can get on with your life and, things don't become so hard. It does reduce things like the risk of things like cardiovascular disease, diabetes, depression, cancer. So it's, it's not guaranteed to get rid of those things, but it does help to prevent those things. If you're interested, exercise is great at improving sex life because you've just got more energy and more likely to want to get in the sack and do it. Reduces the risk of injury, as I was talking about before. It can be a fantastic social outlet. So a lot of us, and I did this back in the day in Sydney, I'll put my hand up, can get in the rut of, I'm going to go out for drinks every night with my friends, or I'm going to come straight home, open a bottle of wine and eat crappy food, right? But it can be a really good social outlet because you can go to a class, meet like-minded people, keep each other accountable, and you're less likely to go, eat the crappy food because everyone else is doing the same thing. So it's a really good social outlet, and it's a great way to meet new people that are on the same wavelength as you and want to get healthier and happier. Boosts your energy, it boosts your mood, boosts your memory. So all of those things are really important. There's been some really good research come out recently how exercise can really help with things like Alzheimer's or prevention of Alzheimer's or slowing down of Alzheimer's. So, we're not getting younger. So if you want to keep our memories going, exercise is a great way to help boost that. So if we take out weight loss, and I think all of us at some point think weight loss is the most important reason to exercise, but I think most of us are probably more beautiful than we realize and probably don't need to lose as much weight as we think. It's probably more about how we feel, because most people that come to me say, I want to lose weight. And it's like, why do you want to lose weight? Well, I want more energy and I want to feel like I'm more, getting out of bed easier in the morning, and I want to feel like I can play with my kids. And that doesn't necessarily come with weight loss. You can, I know of people that have rapidly lost weight but not felt any happier in the end, right? So just thinking outside the box, if you had to write a reason why you wanted to get a regular exercise routine and it had nothing to do with weight loss, can you think of another reason why you might want to exercise? And if you feel like sharing, you can write it in the chat box. For me, I know it helps me with, I've had depression in the past, and I know that regular exercise helps me less likely to fall into a depressive state. So for me, that's good. Beck's written joy, Jen, stress management. Anyone else got any things they want their exercise routine to help with? You don't have to share, but it's nice to share. Energy and the social outlet helps deal with stress so don't get overwhelmed by life, reduce depression. Yep. And so for some of you, you don't need to comment on this, but just thinking about yourself, if you take the pressure of weight loss out of the exercise idea and start to think, well, I'm going to exercise so I feel happier, so that the endorphins kick in and I feel better about myself. Isn't that so nice? Doesn't that take the pressure off? Time out for me, Yeah, it's so much more appealing, Jen, isn't it? When you're saying, I'm doing this to feel better, not because, oh, I've got to lose 5 kilos. You know, it takes the pressure away and just helps you to feel good about yourself. And that's really my philosophy about exercise. It's not about thrashing yourself and going hard. It's really about making your body feel good. Okay, so I hope you can take that. That's probably one of my biggest things that I want to share with you tonight, is that exercise is about feeling good. Not in looking good's good, but feeling good's the most important thing. All right. Megan, yeah, never thought of it that way. Takes the pressure off, right? I just, straight away it takes the pressure off. So hope you agree. All right, so last myth. This is a big one. You can do this on your own. The fact of the matter is, if you try an exercise program and you're like, 1st of January, I'm going to do this on my own, I can do this, you're probably going to fail. And I'm sorry to be quite blunt about this, but we've all done it, haven't we? We've all gone, oh, I am going to do 30 minutes of, you know, star jumps and squats every morning when I get out of bed, I'm going to do it. And it's really hard to keep it up because life gets in the way. So we all need accountability when it comes to our fitness, you know, our fitness goals or our health goals. Otherwise, we just fall into old habits because that's just human nature. We take the easy way out, okay? So there are many ways you can get accountability. It doesn't have to just be working with a professional, although that's obviously a great way to do it. But accountability can come in lots of different forms, okay? So one that I love is telling family and friends about what you want to achieve. So again, we're not talking about, I want to lose 20 kilos. You don't have to tell everyone that. That's quite personal. But you might be, I want to start an exercise program because I know it's going to make me feel more positive and more energetic, and that's what I'm looking for. And I just want to tell you, family, because you're going to help me stay accountable. Once you do that, then your loved ones want to see you succeed as well, and they're going to help you keep you on track. So you might even, I don't know if you've seen those things you can put on the fridge that track kids' chores and stuff. So you give them little stars and stickers and stuff if they've done their chores. Why not have one of those for you on the fridge as well? And the whole family can get involved of putting stickers on for you, or giving you a gold star or whatever it is, or giving yourself a gold star. And when you can see your progress and you can see how many days in a row you've done your exercise or how many days in the month you've done it, it makes you feel good. So that's a great way to keep yourself accountable. Like I did when I started my boxing class, a great way to be accountable is to rope a friend in to do it with you. So like as I was driving here to the studio tonight, I saw all these couples of women. So I'm sure they might be girlfriends, but I think a lot like, you know, partners, but some of them are probably friends. And they're walking along and having a chat and they're having a walk. And if they didn't meet each other for the walk, if they hadn't planned it, they're probably less likely to actually do it. So having a friend come to a boxing class with you for the very first time, you know, if you've both committed to it, even when it was raining, we did it, you're more likely to actually achieve it. And there is no way I would have gone to that boxing class by myself. And that means I wouldn't be here right now talking to you. So I really, my friend Grace, she lives in Islamabad at the moment. So I don't see her very often, but thank you to her for coming with me, because otherwise my life would be completely different right now. So getting a friend to do it with you. And then you can hire a personal trainer or a coach just even to get you started or to keep you on track. So I've got one client that only sees me once a fortnight. So it's not a big expense for her. But because she's seeing me every fortnight and I sort of ask her how she's been going in between times, she's more likely to keep up with her fitness program because she's got me keeping her accountable. So if you want to go that way, you can also obviously have a fitness professional help you out. So they're the 5 myths. How do you feel about doing it on your own? Have you tried that before and it just completely didn't work? There's nothing wrong with getting someone to work with you, whether it's your family, friends. You're more likely to achieve what you want to achieve, okay? So that's a lot of information to absorb. Does anyone want to share which one really resonates with them? I missed the one from Debbie. Health and well-being is a good reason to exercise as well. Sorry about that. So out of the 5 myths, did anyone find one that really resonated with them? So remembering back, they were no pain, no gain, all or nothing, it's expensive, it's I don't need to lose weight, or there's no way I can lose enough weight, or you can do this on your own. Number 4, yet for Megan, accountability for Sarah. All or nothing, Jen. Yep. Fiona was accountability, number 5. Christine was number 3. That's expensive, I think. Yeah, expensive. Jenna, number 1. It's no pain, no gain. Yeah. Or no loss. That's what you're after. No pain, no loss. Yeah. So it's really interesting. I hope that those, probably number 4, changing the perspective from weight loss to all the other benefits. Yeah, I love that. It's my favorite one. Because I think, you know, with all the images we see in the media, no matter how lovely you're looking, you can always feel like you need to lose weight, and that's just so much pressure. So it should be about how good you feel. All right. So I want you to think about those reasons, and I want you to keep remembering those when you start to plan your 2017, because if you start working around that particular thing that was holding you back before, then you can obviously make things more achievable for you in 2017, because you'll know what was blocking you in the past, okay? And now I want to move into the strategies, the 4 things you need to have a really good exercise routine, okay? So the first one is, and we were just talking about this, was finding the motivation that really resonates with you. So before I started my boxing classes back in Sydney, I felt tired all the time. I was overweight. I was so stressed, and I was pretty unhappy. And I was that negative Nancy at the office. And there was that point where I was like, I have to do something. If I don't do something, you know, this is going to be a problem. And it was really lucky that that piece of paper landed in my letterbox when it did, okay? And so for me, I realized that once I started the boxing, my motivation to keep going was keeping my stress levels at bay, or at least letting me release them out of my body. And I started to lose weight, and I started to get quite toned, and I felt quite good about myself, to be honest. So both of those things kept me going, and it was a win-win, because I was beating my stress and I was starting to look and feel better in my body. So what is your motivation? And you don't necessarily have to share it right now, but I'd like you to write down right now, why do you want to have an exercise routine in 2017? And you know, what will change in your life once you do? What is the motivation? So even if you need to close your eyes for a moment and just visualize what your life could be like if you had an exercise routine, more energy, you know, less stress, feeling better about yourself, better sex life, you know, all those things, whatever it is for you, just feel it in your body right now and think about it. Get it in there, get it really centered into your body, and just start, and then write it down. Write it down on a piece of paper. And in fact, I would recommend to you that you write down the reason why you want to exercise every day, even twice a day. If you, anytime you get a spare piece of paper in a few seconds, or tap it into your phone or whatever it is, writing down why you want to exercise, what the benefits are going to be for you, how your life might change, and just keep connecting to that over and over and over again. Make that a central part of your life, something that's always sort of running in the back of your brain. Not in a stressful way, but just like, I'm going to do this because this is what I want, okay? So really getting motivated and really feeling that you are connected to your goal. So is everyone starting to feel like they can connect to a goal of why they'd want to exercise in 2017? For me, I actually have to have some surgery in January, and I'm going to be off exercise for 6 weeks, which is really hard. But when I come back from that, I want to exercise because I'm going to want to feel strong in my body, and I want to feel like I did before when I was boxing the very first time. So something I didn't do this year, but I might do next year, is find my own personal trainer and get my own workouts back into it, because I love that idea of being challenged by somebody else. So for me, that's going to be my big goal for next year. So I hope you've started to think about your goal and you've started to write it down and write it down and write it down. Just get really connected to that goal and that motivation. So Beck wants holistic well-being, more fun, healthy mindset, whole body well-being, feel vibrant, connect to my power each day. I love that. Jen, to feel better, more energy, more centered. That's awesome. Fiona, who comes to my classes, said she will set me a circuit. Thanks, Fiona. Maybe not the first week I'm back. Sarah wants to keep up next year how she's feeling now. Yeah, and that's a great goal. And Sarah, what I would recommend is, and maybe you've already done this, but really finding some feeling words about how you feel right now. So maybe stronger, positive, healthier. And they're your 3 words. They're your power words for next year. And maybe they're just the 3 words you need to write down every day to remind yourself. Energy, fit, healthy mind and body, like Sarah said. That's what Fiona said. So, yeah, really connecting to it, and just hope you've already written it down for next year. Yeah. All right. So if we come to strategy number 2, what you must do is find your tribe. So find your peeps that you're going to exercise with. And what I love about, oh, Jen, love the connection with feeling words. Yeah, it's really important. What I love about this scenario right now is look at all you guys on this chat being each other's peeps. So you're responding to each other, reading what each other are saying. Don't you feel so much more energized knowing that there's other people out there that have the same mindset as you and have the same sort of goals? Christine, been finding this hard in Perth. Yeah, it's really hard sometimes to find your peeps, right? So Christine, hold that thought, because there are ways for us all to connect a little bit more when it comes to our health and fitness. And we can be connected to people all over the world, you know, not all times of the day. Yeah, Christine, you had them in Albany. Yeah. So maybe it's time to, like, some of my best friends that really support me are people I met online. And now I've met some of them face to face as well. But it's amazing how you can really get connection and really get your tribe, even online, okay? And what you need to find is people that will have the same mindset as you. And if you're really serious about changing your life and making big changes in terms of health and fitness, there are occasionally people that you sort of leave by the wayside because they're not kind of supporting you and what you're after. And I know that's pretty hard talk, but let's focus on the ones that can help you keep centered and you know, in touch with your goals. So definitely find a tribe of people, whether it's face-to-face, online, people that have the same mindset as you, because it's way more fun to head out and go for a walk or punch some boxing pads or whatever you need to do than sort of sitting at home and feeling a little bit disconnected, okay? So really start to think about, who do you know right now who can be your tribe, or are there people online that you can start to reach out to? And to be honest, I'm going to give you a bit of an option at the end of this training that might be a way for you to find your tribe. Okay. The third strategy is you must have a plan. It must be a pretty, not strict plan, but a pretty set in stone plan, because we can all go, yep, I'm going to exercise this week. And then this week happens and you get no chance of actually exercising. So what you need to do is look at your commitments. Okay. So, you know, look at what you do during the week, kind of look at every single moment of the day and figure out what parts of the day can you exercise. So maybe on Mondays it's the morning, and maybe on Tuesdays it's at lunchtime, and maybe on Fridays it's in the afternoon. And it might be different every day of the week, because it might be the kids have something on Mondays and, you know, your husband's away on a Tuesday or whatever it is. So you've got to find when you're free and when it's actually available to you. And remembering, you can do 10 minutes at a time. It doesn't have to be 30 minutes at a time. You can find ways to squeeze in exercise throughout the day. And you need to find out, you know, when your favorite classes are on, or, you know, when it's not busy at the beach, because you like exercising at the beach, but not in front of everybody. So all of these things factor into your plan, right? And then you need to book it into your diary. So you need to put it into your calendar, or write it on the calendar, you know, on the fridge, or put it into your phone. So you get a pop-up reminder when you've got your exercise session coming up. And that is why people that go to classes that are booked in or have a personal trainer usually are more successful because they'll get their text reminder and they've got an appointment, and we don't like letting people down, us women. So if we've got an appointment booked in, we're more likely to go. Or if you've got a friend to exercise with, you're more likely to go because you've got to meet her. So finding ways to make sure that it's in the diary, it's an appointment, it has to happen, okay? So an actual plan is paramount to success. But this is a little bonus tip, don't aim for perfection, because when we sort of mess up from perfection, then we've got given ourselves an excuse to stop altogether. So if you get 80% of your exercise in each week, that's a heck better than doing nothing at all, right? So you want to have a plan, have your perfect plan written out, put it in the diary, all that sort of stuff, but leave yourself a bit of wiggle room to not quite meet your own expectations, okay? So as soon as we try to be perfect, that's when we let ourselves down, and then that's when we're able to stop. So my motto is take imperfect action. So much better than not taking any action at all, okay? So does anyone have any thoughts about making plans? Does that feel like you're going to let yourself down if you don't live up to them? Or have you ever put in your diary like reminders when you're supposed to be doing your exercise, or has that worked for you guys? I know some of my clients are here. Do the text message reminders make you feel like, oh, I better turn up, otherwise I'll be in trouble? Has anyone ever sort of had any experience with planning? Be good to know. I don't know how long the delay is on the chat, so I'm not sure if someone's going to respond or not, but that's okay. All right. So that's strategy number 4, making a plan. And strategy number 5, sorry, that was strategy number 3. And our strategy number 4 is eating well. So I know eating well has nothing to do with fitness, but the truth of the matter is, you cannot outrun a bad diet. So what happens is you'll start an exercise program, and naturally you will get hungrier because your body metabolism will change. You'll need more energy. But if you're eating crappy food, then you're more likely to not get your results for a number of reasons. You may end up putting on weight because you're eating more than you used to, and you're eating more than the calories you've burnt. And I don't like talking about calories, but this is kind of true. And the second thing is that if you are eating quite processed food, then you are more likely to feel exhausted. You're more likely to be moody. So you're like, I'm not going to exercise today, I'm in a crappy mood, when we all know you'd feel better if you did. But eating badly will actually completely derail all of your efforts to get fitter. Now, it doesn't mean that you can never eat chocolate, because I would say you should always have chocolate. Well, not always, but chocolate should be readily available, but not too much. But all I'm saying is, if you can eat 80% of the time as well as you possibly can, leaving yourself, again, wiggle room to not be perfect, you are going to be much more effective in your workouts. You're going to be more energized, and you will end up seeing a change probably in your body shape if that's what you need to happen in your body. So even though eating well has nothing to do with actual exercise, fueling yourself properly is going to really help your exercise and your fitness and your results. Okay. Yes, says Sarah, smiley face. You've seen a big change, haven't you, Sarah? Fiona, in terms of planning, says planning makes a huge difference, and I just let everyone know I have an appointment, which is really important for my success. Doesn't it feel good when you can blame someone else? Oh, I'm sorry, I can't do that, I've got an appointment, as opposed to, oh yeah, I better, because I was just going to do some exercise, but I can let it go. It's just different reframe in your mind. And April says paying for her yoga in advance helps her. So yeah, I completely agree. All right, so here are the 4 essentials for a fun and achievable fitness program. First, you need your personal motivation. You need to feel that motivation in your body. You need to have feeling words to describe it, and you need to write down your goals as regularly as you can, that motivation. So that's step 1. 2 is finding that like-minded tribe that will keep you excited, keep you on track, and help you to feel really like you want to get into your exercise, because partly it's social and partly it's because, you're with people that make you feel excited. Thirdly is making an actual physical plan that is the same as an appointment in your diary that you are not allowed to get out of, but giving yourself wiggle room because life happens. So it's an 80% sort of plan, but you give yourself a 100% plan, but only, you know, knowing that you'll probably only get 80% of it done. And then finally is having that healthy, good eating plan to energize you and make you feel even more amazing during your fitness, but also outside of your fitness as well. So which one of those 4 strategies do you think you will implement first, or is the most important one for you to get a really good fitness program happening? I think for me next year, I need that motivation. I want to start writing down every day how I want exercise to make me feel and why I want to exercise. So for me, that's really important. I'm lucky I've got a built-in tribe. Megan is finding motivation too. Yeah. So that's something you can go away and do now. Megan is really tap into what is it? And maybe you want to go back to that blog post. In fact, I might just find the URL and just put it in there in case you want to have a read, Megan. But like 52 reasons to exercise, and find 1 or 2, but then rewrite it in a way that really resonates with you and use those feeling words about how you want to feel. I'm just getting the URL for a sec. Just 1 second. Here I am. Sarah says a tribe would be good. Yep. Planning and eating well for Fiona. And Beck, motivation, regular reminders to keep momentum up. Yep. Yep. So that's almost a motivation / tribe kind of thing as well, keeping momentum up as well. All right, so I've just popped in that 52 reasons to exercise link, which is a really good way to sort of choose 1 or 2 things that really set into your chest, into your heart, and make you really want to do it. So making a plan and a tribe. Yep, that's good, Christine. And Megan, yep, no worries, anytime. Just tell me when you need a link and I'll send it to you. All right, so I am very excited because I've wanted to really share that information for a long time, because I think for a lot of women, we get caught up in thinking that, and I know there's some men going to be watching this too, so I don't want to say no men. Men and women can get really almost blocked in having their own exercise routine because they've got mindsets that need to change. Like they think they've got to work harder than they do, or they think they've got to do everything and, you know, take up lots and lots of time, and they don't have that support they need, like a tribe and a plan and all those kind of things. So I really wanted to get that information out there. But then I also know this is a lot of information and it can still feel quite overwhelming, and particularly without the support of an exercise professional, because, you know, obviously my clients, there's a few on this who have had some really great results, have had the support of an exercise professional. And I've seen how much more results you can get when you do a regular program and you're locked in, you're following a plan. And so I really wanted to be able to translate this into something that everyone can do with me, no matter where you are, okay? So I have pulled together an online program, and I'm calling it Fun Fitness because I think exercise should be fun. And it's actually a 6-week online fitness program, and it includes accountability from me. So it's not just you rush off and do your own thing without my help. This has actually got accountability from me so that you will continue on your goals with my support. Okay, so I'm just going to put the link in here so that you can click on it and have a look if you'd like to. And I'm just going to talk you through the Fun Fitness program. So it's really for people that need extra motivation. It's for people who want to find their fitness tribe. And it's for people that want to find a way to eat well, you know, with support from an exercise professional. So you know all the information now. I've told you about how to keep healthy and fit. But, you know, it's hard to actually know where to start. And that's why I've put together this program for 2017 so that you can start the beginning of the year in the right way. Because sometimes we can get so carried away with New Year and Christmas and stuff that then it's February and we're like, oh, we didn't do anything. Oh, it's too late. Okay, so this program starts on the 9th of January. And it's for people that feel like 2016 hasn't lived up to your health expectations. It's for people that don't have enough accountability. It's for people that aren't having fun with their fitness. It's for people that feel like it's all pain and no gain, and that's not suiting them. And it's for people that need a tribe and feel like they need motivation. So in the program, after the program, you'll feel like you have more inner confidence, you'll feel fitter, you'll have your tribe, you'll have learned some, clean eating tips and techniques, and you're just going to feel much better. So in the program, you get 6 weeks of daily fitness plans. So you have something to do every day for 6 weeks, and you don't have to even think about it. Now, that includes fitness, that includes rest days, I should say, and it also includes some down days and some harder days. You'll also receive an ebook that has all the workouts and exercises so that you can switch things up. So if you get bored of what I've prescribed for you and you're getting a bit, more advanced, you can change things around because there's all that information for you. There's also exercise videos that I've recorded for you so that you can see the exercises and the techniques so that you can do the exercises properly and less likely to be injured. You get accountability from me. So there's a free app that you can log into called Map My Fitness. You become my friend on Map My Fitness and you log all of your workouts. And believe me, if you've gone 2 or 3 days without a workout, I will be on your case. I will get your phone number and I will be texting you or maybe even calling you or emailing you and saying, excuse me, where's your workout? So I can keep you on track throughout the 6-week program. You also get access to my cleanse detox plan. So as of week 4, we'll start easing into that. So it's actually week 5 that you'll be doing it. So it'll be in February once school's gone back, because I know January is a tricky time. We're kind of all at barbecues and having fun and doing stuff with the kids. So the cleanse won't start until school goes back and we're kind of all back into our routine. You'll get weekly motivational emails from me, and there'll be access to a private Facebook group so that we can be each other's tribe. So I'll get in there most days with information and updates and videos or whatever. But you can also chat with each other and you can sort of say, where are we going to work out today? Or what workout are you going to do? Or which exercise did you like? Or God, I hate it when Emma gives us mountain climbers, or whatever you need to say. So you've got your tribe and you can start to feel really supported with people that are like-minded. Plus you'll get a bonus yoga workout. So it's one of my yoga workouts from an online yoga program I have called Go With The Flow. Plus you'll get recipes, exercises, and it's going to be heaps and heaps of fun. And so for the whole 6-week program, it's only $150. It's an early bird price. It's available until the 16th of December. Today's the 6th. And which is quite amazing. So you're going to have access to a personal trainer and, accountability, all those things for $25 a week, which is pretty, not too expensive. And it's going to be a really great way for you to stay really accountable for that 6-week period. Jen said, woohoo, I'm excited, Jen, that's good. So what I love about this is really going to be that tribe and that connection that we're all going to have, and that accountability, because I know when you're trying to do this stuff on your own, it just really doesn't work. So the program starts on the 9th of January. It lasts for 6 weeks. You may wonder, I'm going to go away on holidays, or, can I still do this? It's only a 30-minute workout every day, and you've got 1 rest day a week. So I'm pretty sure most people can still do this while they're on holidays, or try and do 3 10-minute sessions, breaking it down like we talked about before. So I think it is achievable even if you are away on holidays. You might wonder if you need to buy anything else to be part of the program. There is a kettlebell workout in the program. So you can buy kettlebells quite easily from Kmart for about $25. But you might be surprised. Your friends might have one gathering dust in their garage, so you could borrow theirs, or you could tell them to join the program with you and you can do the workouts together. You might be worried about the cleanse because it is a detox, and I can understand that. And you might wonder, should I skip it? Well, I would say don't. It doesn't start till week 5. By then you'll have been getting into your fitness and you'll be craving that better food. And again, it's that imperfect action is better than none at all. So if you don't do it perfectly, that's fine. But just getting started on a healthier eating plan is way better than doing nothing at all. So I just say go for it. Have a go, see what happens. You might surprise yourself. And you might also wonder, well, what if I don't get the results I wanted? As I said, I'm going to keep you on track using this free app. And if you do need extra personal attention, I will be away for January, recovering from surgery. But from the 1st of February, I will be available for private coaching sessions. If you need a bit more one-on-one support, we can organise that throughout February. And if you really think at the end of the 6 weeks that it has not worked for you, then we can have a chat about having a refund. Okay. Yeah, it's a good Christmas present, isn't it, Jen? So as I said, the program is starting on the 9th of January, and it's available now. You can purchase it now for $150, and that price is available until the 16th of January. So you've got 10 days for that. And then it will be $199 after that. So you're saving $49 now if you purchase before the 16th of January. And Fiona's saying cleanse is awesome. She's actually done the cleanse and knows the benefits that you get. You straight away will lose a couple of kilos, but what it does is it really changes your eating habits. So you're not going to stay eating that clean for the rest of your life, but it's going to help you stay on track for a lot longer than you might be if you just try and eat good. It gives you some guidelines. You get heaps of recipes and heaps of stuff to keep you on track. So the cleanse is really great. Okay, so does anyone else have any questions, or is anyone needing any more information at this stage? I'd love to know if you've got questions, and I'd love to know if you're keen to just jump on board. I mean, obviously I'm biased, but if this had been available to me 5 years ago, I would have been like, yes. Oh, Jen's, yes, yes, yes. I'd love it, Jen, if you came on board. That'd be so cool. Yeah, I just think that all of us together, I don't know if you can feel it already, but just from chatting together on this chat, you can feel that real momentum happening and feel like you really got support. So I think that's something that it can be really underestimated of how cool we can feel when we've got that tribe supporting us. Fiona's going to be taking me up. Thank you, Fiona. I'll miss you if I don't speak to you for 6 weeks. So I'm glad that's going to happen. Anyone else Sarah's going to be there? Awesome. Same for you, Sarah. I'd miss you if I didn't speak to you for 6 weeks. Megan, knew I'd end up a client of yours in 2017. Well, I'm excited, Megan. That's going to be so awesome if you come and join us too. Yeah. Has anyone else got questions about the program? Is there anything you're worried about, or anything that you feel like I haven't answered? Anything holding you back? Love to know. Christine, have to see about the money side. Yeah, that's completely fair enough. And, if you really need to, Christine, just drop me an email. We might be able to sort out a bit of a payment plan or something like that if that would suit you. So, send me an email and we can have a chat if that's something you want to pursue. Because when you think about it, like $25 a week for a personal trainer and accountability in your tribe's not too much, but this time of the year it can be a bit tricky, so I completely understand that. So just send me an email if you want more info about that. Fiona, thanks, Harrison. Hello. Harrison's Fiona's son. She brings him to some of my classes, so it's nice to hear from Harrison. Thanks, Christine. Yeah, just send me a message or an email. All right, has anyone else got any questions? Now, I'm not saying this for a sympathy factor, but I just want to say those 6 weeks are obviously also the 6 weeks that I will be in recovery from my surgery. And to have you guys out there doing the program, giving me something to do, keeping you all accountable and keeping track will be so wonderful for me and my recovery as well. So I think we're all going to benefit from this. We're going to really have such an amazing community and tribe. And to start straight away at the beginning of the new year means you're setting yourself up for success. Oh, Jen, thank you. I mean, yeah. I've wanted to do an online program for a really good time. And I think, I'm seeing my surgery as an opportunity rather than as something to worry about too much. Fiona, thank you. Terrific webinar has helped me reset myself, especially leading up to the silly season. Yeah. And you know what? It is a silly season, so it's okay to be a little bit silly, but it's also okay to sort of pull yourself back and say, I've still got goals I want to achieve, so I'm going to just go this silly, not this silly, if that makes sense. Okay. So if anyone else has questions, I'm just going to stay on for another couple more minutes if everyone's got anything specific they need answered. Otherwise, I just want to say thank you so much for your time. I've really loved sharing this information with you because I know from my own experience that having a healthier lifestyle is sometimes more up here than anything else. And I think being able to change your mindset a little bit, find that motivation that really feels in your heart, something that you want to change in your life, something you want to feel, is just the beginning of everything. So thank you so much. Thank you, Jen. That's beautiful. So I just want to say thank you so much for being here. You can click that link. Thank you, Fiona. You can click that link in the chat box to join up straight away if you want to. And I just so you know, I will be sending out a couple of reminder emails between now and the 16th of February so you don't miss out. No, 16th of December, where am I? I want it to be 2017 already. 16th of December so that you still get that price. Thanks, Beck. Love the webinar and thank you for providing inspiration for a happy and healthy 2017. Thanks, Debbie and Beck. Appreciate it. Thank you so much for being here. So I'll just stay on. It's 7:45 now. I'll stay on until about 7:50. So if you've got questions, big thank you to you, Sarah, as well. Thank you so much. No worries, Fiona. I'll send you the link. Megan, awesome job. Emma, thanks. Just what I needed. Thank you, Megan. I'm so glad you joined. Yeah, so I'll still be here until 10 to in case you have any more questions for me. But again, thank you so much. I hope I haven't disrupted dinner time. I haven't had dinner yet, so I'm dying to get home to eat. But I really appreciate you. And you should be proud of yourself for taking an hour out of your time to start thinking about 2017 and your own fitness and your own health. So thank you. Might just have a sip of water while I wait. I'm just going to stick around for a few more minutes. Thank you, Beck. You have an awesome 2017 too. I cannot wait. We're going to be having fun next year, I'm sure. So yeah, letting me know if you've got questions. I'd love to hear from you. Otherwise, you can always email me. So as I said, you'll get a follow-up email and you're more than welcome to email me. No, Harrison, I can't sing. You wouldn't want to listen to me sing. Not at all. No. Sorry. All right. Couple more minutes. I don't know if it tells me when people have logged off or not, but good night, Fiona. Say hi to the chooks for me. I don't know them, but I love chooks. See ya. Thanks, April. See you soon. I know I won't see you this week, but I'll see you soon. Yeah, Jen, I hope to see you soon. It's lovely to have you on the webinar. Hopefully see you in the Facebook group for our program next year. Lovely to meet you. All right, I'll be signing off shortly. Thank you again, everybody, for being here. Thanks, Megan. Yeah, we will speak soon. Thank you. Yay, April, that's exciting. All right, guys, that's me out. It's 10 to 8. We should all be getting ready for bed. So thank you so, so much. And if you've got questions, email me and you'll get some email reminders during the week. So thanks again for your time. See ya.